What's going on, everyone? Stick around to the end of this video. I'd like to ask a few questions about my next video. I'd like to go over some more stocks for my next video, and I'd like to share a list of tickers for a few video ideas I have for my next video. Also in this video, I will be using a new format. I will be using almost like a PowerPoint slide presentation, and I would like to know how that is received. And on to the disclaimer here. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who's gotten lucky investing before. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and I'm just as good at losing money as I can make it. None of what you are about to see is financial advice. And so we go on to the company that I am reviewing in this video, and that is Honest, stock ticker HNST. Now, this company's been in and out of my portfolio for a while now, and I'll probably go through the history of the prices of this stock and the earnings and what I saw, and what I saw when I bought it, and why I sold, and why now I'm looking at it again, because there's been a few developments and the price has slid a little bit. But I have been watching this stock for over a year now, and it is interesting, and we'll see why. So the bearish case for HNST that I'd like to bring up is they have a lot of cash on hand. They have $75 million sitting in a bank, and then their market cap, $580 million. That has fluctuated. I think after closing it might be $600 million. Before putting this presentation together, at one point it said 510. So you'll see that change in a later slide. In 2022, they paid off all their debt, and they have not added any debt since they paid off that debt. And we will see why that is important later. Just started reporting positive earnings. They reported positive earnings a year ago, year and a quarter, last quarter of 2023. And their next earnings report estimated a penny per share. And then the earnings report after is forecast 5 cents per share. Their 2023 Q4 earnings was a penny per share. So if they can hit 5 cents per share on their last their in 2 earnings reports, that is a huge thing. A few of their products have gotten overwhelmingly positive reviews, and we will I can show that to you. They have here on Target.com. I love looking at Target.com because Amazon can you can pay bots to skew numbers and stuff, and Target.com, you don't see much of that. You can see their ageless firm and even serum. I've talked to quite a few people. These are just bogus products, but almost every beauty company is selling them, and they're selling them, and they're getting 5-star reviews. Their hydrogel cream with the hyaluronic acid, very positive. Hydration face cream, very positive. Calming cleanser, some of these not so good, just 4 stars, but there's quite a few that have very positive. And then their shampoo, body wash mixture, they have baby baby shampoo uh, that's got very positive reviews to some of their baby products. They have baby wipes as well. They make a very popular baby wipe that is gaining a lot of popularity, being sold at Walmart too. I mean, you can see a lot of these products have like darn near 5 stars, and and so I like I like that people are enjoying their product. And then, of course, with bullish comes bearish points. Relatively new management to the company. They have rotated out in the last 6 months quite a lot of management, senior management, and we'll go through that too. They are paid a lot, and I will go through why I believe they're paid a lot. Marketing could be more effective, I believe. Social media campaigns like TikTok momfluencers is like an untapped market that I think Honest is really missing out on. You look at Elf Cosmetics, one of the other companies I'm invested in, and they use TikTok influencers like Storytime. About this time that this guy talked to me at Starbucks this one time, and it was weird. And it'll be girls like putting on makeup. There are 100,000 momfluencers on TikTok and Facebook, and I haven't seen any honest baby wipes. I haven't seen any honest diapers. I haven't seen any oh, you gotta try this new serum thing. I think that is a huge untapped potential there, which could actually be a bullish point, right? Is like all they have to do is like throw some TikTok momfluencers, like a couple of $100, and grow their revenue stream like tenfold, but they're not right now, and I'm gonna put that as a bearish point. Their diapers need to be improved upon. I have read reviews on their diapers. That is like their number one seller, right? Is their diapers right now. If you go into Walmart, pretty much the only products you can find on the shelf, and that's where most people are getting diapers. Let's be honest, Costco and Walmart. And you read reviews of these diapers, and people are saying, it's like 3.9, 3.8 stars. People don't like them. They're buying that product for more having organic diapers, right? The baby wipes, they have a good review on them, but the diapers not so much. And to the CEO, Carla Vernon, she seems to be doing an excellent job. She's been in position for 2 years and 3 months. She's bounced around to a few different jobs. She graduated from Princeton and University of Texas at Austin. Seemingly very educated woman. She bounced around a few different positions within General Mills. From 2013 2017. The job that piqued my interest there at General Mills, though, was she was the president of Annie's Homegrown. Now, if you can think of where Annie's Homegrown was in 2017 versus where it was when she left in 2020, I mean, I remember Annie's in like 2016 was an unheard of company. Now you look at Annie's, I mean, it has, and those are like the 3 years. So she's been the president of a brand that exploded in grocery stores across the country, while it was on the up and up. And if you read through some of her other positions, maybe I can't go into um, what happened there between 2013 and 2017, but um, she does have that experience. 2020, she moved to Amazon as VP of Consumables. Excellent position to grow relationships in that side of Amazon, and hopefully that can help Honest Company um, move their product within Amazon. Um, it sure seems like that experience has helped a lot. Other senior leadership notes. I just wanted to go through here and talk about the pay. I mentioned that it seems like the pay of some of the senior leadership at Honest is a little much. So it's a little on the high side. I have pulled up quite a few. So this is Jessica Alba dropped out last year, around this time, pretty much exactly a year ago, from being the chief creative officer. So now it is just Carla Vernon. She made 5.7 million last year. The last CEO made 5.2 million. The chief growth officer, she is still there. She made 1.9 million last year. I just pulled up two companies here. One is Arrow Financial. Arrow Financial is also a financial company that is on the up and up. I don't know much about it, I'm going to be honest, but I do know that they have been growing their revenue in the same realm at the same rate as Honest Company, and this is how much. I mean, their CEO is making 792,000. That's like uh, uh, um, 1/8 of what Carla's making at, right? I think I'm doing that math wrong, but it's significantly less. Then Monroe, an automotive company, again, same revenue numbers, and these are kind of the salaries that they have there. Now these are some larger companies here. Texas Roadhouse, significantly more money coming in Texas Roadhouse than now chief marketing officer 1.8 million, CEO 5.3. Celsius Holdings, again, significantly more money coming into Celsius Holdings. You have the CEO making 3.2 million. Elf Beauty, again, significant more money, and you have a CEO sitting real nice at 8.4 million. And then you look back at Honest Company. So just kind of a point there that you know, that is quite a lot to pay your senior management when you're only making $375 million a year. You're paying your CEO, you know, you're paying the top brass $10 million a year. That's quite a significant portion of the revenue, and so Jessica Alba, like I said, she dropped out of that position. The senior management of the company, you look through their resumes, there are a lot of former CEOs in that company. Could be a too many chefs in the kitchen situation. You have one guy that was a former really hired, like, CFO of Duluth, and I mean, good experience, but sometimes that, you know, when you're going from former CEO, very successful, to a startup, and you're being led by another former VP at Amazon, you kind of get some egos. Kind of sometimes it doesn't mesh. So the other point I wanted to bring up is how important is management for this company? Now, like I said, Carla seems to be doing an awesome job making all the right decisions. However, is this a company that if management gets completely wiped out and completely replaced, could you just put anyone in there and it's just going to be automatic? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's for the investor to decide. Um, with all of the with all the products that they have, it seems like you just put they're in a good position now, where you just put the products on the shelf and make sure that there's no issues with the supply chain of your products. Um, this is brought up the revenue growth charts here. This is the um, historic chart. You can see their latest earnings. They just reported their first quarter over $100 million. So, you know, so their current CEO Carla took over right around here-ish, right in this area, and you can see that revenue, it was a little choppy before she came in, and it seems like it's just steadily growing slowly. And so we're going to have to see, and you got the 12-month trailing on top here. We'll have to wait a few more earnings reports and see if they can continue this good growth of revenue. And then I got earnings per share. So same thing. New CEO took over right around here in around this earnings report, and of course, right after she took over, they had a bad run, and this is about where I bought the first time, and then after this earnings report is when I sold, and I'll show you in the chart where that was. That was 2023, late 2023, bought and then sold late 2024, Q3 2024. No, Q1 2024. Anyway, but now the stock has kind of come down in price, and they're projected more positive earnings per share. And going back through the history, look at any of the companies in the last 5 years that have had a negative EPS, as this chart shows. A lot of these companies, once they start recording their first positive earnings, they don't really react, but they really react once they start making 10 cents per share positive. If this stock can hit that estimate of size 5 cents per share in that 2 quarters away, 2 quarters away earnings report, and there is a reason to believe that growth can continue through this company at and above 5 cents per share. It might drop down to 2 cents per share, 3 cents per share. These shares could go up to $9 by the end of this year. Now, that's really optimistic, But with shares going down, I think today HNST closed at $4.90 a share. I would like to get shares under $4 personally, just because there's so many other good deals in the market right now with Elf Cosmetics, and I mean Celsius is still climbing, but it closed today at 36.50 or something. Google's like on fire sale right now. I think today it closed at about $160 a share. But if this stock can get under $4.50, maybe $4.25, it could be good to add to your portfolio. It just depends on your belief of the company. It seems like it has good growth potential, and there is one other aspect of Honest, though, that I don't see a lot of analysts talking about, and that is it being acquired. Now, this company, like I said earlier, it has zero debt. They paid off the last of their debt. They have $75 million of cash. That makes HNST a prime candidate for someone to speculate about. Okay, 10 years ago, Seventh Generation was bought up by I forget the company name. Some some company. It's escaped me the name. But that was bought when Seventh Generation. Seventh Generation has been a huge success. Since it was bought out, you see it everywhere. It's next to Tide in the laundry detergent aisle. They make a dish soap out of it. Their products are sold Target, Walmart, Costco. It's everywhere. And when they were bought out, they were only making $200 million annually of revenue. Now, they were purchased for $700 million. And now they didn't disclose how much debt they had when they purchased it. Dollar Shave Club was just purchased by the same company, $200 million of revenue per year, just like Seventh Generation. Now, that was purchased for $1 billion. Now, Alani Nu. I'm adding this because this is the latest acquisition in the market for a company that was making roughly the same amount of revenue in a very different it was a different product. Of course, Alani Nu is a drink. It was purchased by Celsius. It was making relatively similar numbers on the revenue and had $385 million in debt, but it was purchased for $1.8 billion by Celsius. Now, the reason I include Alani Nu in this slide is because if you can imagine, when Celsius is looking at buying Alani Nu and they're thinking about it, they're going, okay, we already have the distribution set up to sell energy drinks. We already, have lines of purchasers and customers lined up for this product. All we have to do is buy the name and get the recipe to make it. We have all the canning infrastructure. We have all this. All we got to do is just $1.8 billion, and we get $500 million of revenue added on to our operation. That's going to pay for itself in 3.6 years. 3.7 years. 3.7 years. Same thing with when Seventh Generation was purchased. That was purchased with a expectation of 3.5 years, it's going to pay for itself because we already have the distribution. Now, if you're looking Procter and Gamble or Johnson and Johnson maybe is looking at Honest, and they're saying, well, it works so well for seventh generation, it being acquired by Unilever was the company that purchased seventh generation. It could work for us if we buy Honest, and we can compete with seventh generation, and Honest could be our own seventh generation. So if that happens, Honest, no debt, $510 million market cap, $600 million market cap. If it goes down to $4, like I said, I think that equates to like a $425 million market cap. You could be looking at an acquisition of $1.3 billion, right? If I'm doing the math right. That's how much Honest should be worth to a company like Procter and Gamble, and they got that money for it too. They have that bread, or Johnson and Johnson, or it could be a very worthwhile acquisition to a company like that. And that is my DD on HNST. Now, I do want to also talk about potentially my next video. So here is my list of current stocks that I'm watching, or maybe I believe you should sell, or I have looked into. Maybe I just sold some, and I'm thinking about doing for my next video. I want your guys' input. If you could leave a comment down below. I'm thinking about doing a combined video with Ondas Holdings. It's a drone company. They're a speculative buy. They're trading at $1.15 after close today. LUNR, something Extraordinary Technologies. I don't remember the name of the company. And then AMPX, stock ticker. They make a lithium battery. They make custom lithium batteries for aerospace applications, car vehicle applications. And so I was thinking about doing a trifecta on comparing which stocks, each one of these, they're trading under $3, I believe, per share. So I could do a which one comparison between the three on which one do you want to speculate is going to be the one that makes it out of the penny stock world, and maybe which one won't do so good. Another video is just a video on NVAX. I'm also looking at Texas Roadhouse. TWNP, why I think that you should not buy TWNP, why I sold my Tesla, maybe some of these stocks that I'm looking at on the outside, Liberty Energy, Nike, Mazda, or if you think that I should do a video just going in on one that are on my definite I am buying list, and I don't think there's a better deal on the market sort of list. But anyway, that will conclude this video. Thanks for watching.